we the same age because they grown men at the same time. We wasn't seeing eye to eye at a time. He knew I wasn't seeing eye to eye with him. I knew I wasn't. I knew the same thing. He felt the same way. As an older guy, as a person who leading the way, I can't be beefing with no young nigga that I just try to put on. This nigga, we stand in the same house, we eating together every night. We just pulled up, busted up, undeal. It was our own personal thing. If I need 500,000 right now, I know I could call Roddy to bring me 500,000 if I was fucked up. You know what I'm saying? Just from how I built with niggas and what I do. We do business a little bit different. One of the guys I've been working with, my friend for a minute, he came to me about Roddy early. No, I fuck with you. That's what I'm doing. I'm supporting it with you. Period.
How does growing up in the hood, I guess shape your mental health?
It make you crazy as shit. You're gonna be shout out by the time you get through that shit. I went back in my hood just with the new way I be thinking now. I really got around people. I was like, damn, there's a lot of crazy people, and not crazy, a lot of people that have mental health where we come from. And it's not just a coincidence that these people have, a large group of people have it in these areas. And I believe just going through the shit they going through. I'm talking about Friday the 13th. What's the most scariest movie America has ever seen? What movie is that? Like, what's the top movies? What?
Shit, I mean, I used to think all those movies were scary, but now seeing the shit we see on the internet, way scarier, real life shit.
I use that for like judges and like DAs and shit like that. When you sentencing a kid that got locked up with a gun, taking into consideration that fucking 100 people got murdered in this neighborhood in the last 100 days, he might be mentally sick, paranoid, post-traumatic stress, depressed, everything in one. So take that into consideration. This is Friday the 13th in these areas every night. When you hear about, I don't know if you be seeing my page, I post up every other day a little girl or a woman get shot in their head or get killed or a child get killed in Philly. And when I come around that type of shit, I got the resources to do it legally, but when I come around that shit, I'm bulletproofed up. Them sticks you hearing about in raps, they legal, they're around when we in them environments. And I wouldn't have them if I didn't have to have them in those environments. I seen Jay was like, what you got bulletproof for? I'm like, nah, nigga, you Jay-Z. You got twins, you got Beyonce, you live somewhere. I still gotta dance amongst
the wolves.
Yeah, the wolves, because I ain't get that far away. And then I asked him, like, man, when was your last year when niggas was talking about they gonna stop? You know how, like, you're a rapper, I posted this. You could be trying to get away from the street, but you always got somebody from the hood that's like, we gonna take something from him. That nigga ain't real, he ain't built like that. Sometimes that was like a big test for me, probably over the last year, just dealing with people like that. Because these guys will almost pull you back into the mentality you was raised off. And even if they gotta sacrifice they self to make you lose, they would do that. And I had to be able to pay attention to that and notice that, like, niggas will sacrifice they self for you to lose, and I don't entertain that no more. I don't want you to be able to control my fate.
That's the crabs in the barrel theory, basically. Why do you think
we call it where we from, we call it nigga-itis. That's what we call it. That's what the OGs in jail was calling it, the guys, the real slaves that's locked down for shit they ain't doing, got life sentence. One guy said, man, it's called nigga-itis because the COs was locking me in a little bit more. They thought I was gonna be walking around with my chest out. And I was just quiet. I'm in jail, I'm a millionaire, I don't know nobody here, I'm just quiet. So COs talking to me, I'm confused, I'm in prison. I'm not really interacting with people, so they kind of thought that I was like acting higher to them. So it'd be time to lock in, they'd be locking me in a little bit more or say something to me first or just going hard on me because I kind of like, I made it to where I wanted to make it at, and they probably didn't make it to where they wanted to make it at in life. So they kind of like taking it out on me. So a guy was like, nigga, he said, well, you know what we call that, man? We call that nigga-itis.